Welcome back, everyone. Here we are at Samahita Retreat. We've got another class for you to practice at home. This is the centered Hatha Vinyasa sequence 2. So a little more challenging than sequence 1. We've got some balancing on the feet and on the hands. Enjoy. Let's begin. So on your mat, lie back. Take a moment here. The feet apart, the heels away from the buttocks, so you have space behind the knee. This is constructive rest pose. So you can relax, but not completely flop in this one. Place your hands on the lower ribs, the upper abdomen. Relax your face, your mouth, your jaw, and take a moment to breathe, to feel the breath in your hands. As you inhale, there's an expansion, and as you exhale, there's a release. So continue to feel and observe the breath. Connect with that and relax with each breath. What you feel here is the freedom in the upper abdomen. One of our principles is upper abdomen free throughout the practice, breathing well through the nose. Okay, so that's a nice way to ground ourselves. And we'll continue here with some pelvic tilts. This is before we get into core, so it's a wonderful technique. Can you tilt your pelvis forwards? So while you're there on your back, tilting forwards of the pelvis there will make a slight arch. And then exhale to tilt back, grounding the sacral bone to the mat. Inhale, tilt the pelvis forwards. And exhale, tilt the pelvis back, pressing in below the navel, so that flattens in. It's the Uddiyana zone. Inhale, tilt the pelvis forwards. Exhale, grounding down at the sacrum, cultivating the deep core of the body. Inhale, tilt forwards, so that makes a bit of space. And you exhale to ground down, cultivating the core. One more to inhale, tilt forwards. And exhale, rooting down the base of the spine. Good, and come back to a neutral pelvis. Okay, next, lift your legs up, give them a quick shake. So loosen up and free the legs. And what we'll add in here then is to bring the joints together. So you have knee to knee, heel to heel, the knees above hips. You can put your block between your thighs if your knees don't come together to help maintain the stability. So what's really important here is stability of the joints. Knee to knee, heel to heel, knees above hips. Lift your arms up, point to the ceiling, then draw the elbows to the side for the cactus arms. Keep the shoulder blades grounded and out to the elbow. Root the sacrum down, that's where our posterior tilt comes in, and the lower abdomen, the Uddiyana, is scooped in. And what we'll do first is to move side to side. So you're rocking there side to side just to feel that initial twist movement, but maintaining stability of the joints. Knee to knee, heel to heel, big toe touching big toe. Coming side to side with the arms still fixed in place. Good. So you inhale center. Now exhale to the right. And it doesn't have to be too low initially. And you just look at your knees there. They level up. Fix through the shoulders. 3. Continue to breathe well. 2. 1. Inhale, center. And exhale, knees go over to the left. Again, check the grounding of the arms as even. And just go as low as you can maintain the joint position. Work with the lower abdomen scooped in, so the core is activated. Now this is really good for the sacroiliac joints. 3, 2, 1, and you inhale up. And then just have a little shake, and we'll put the legs back down again. Okay, so we return to constructive rest, feet apart, heels away from the hips. Now interlace the fingers and hold the back of your skull with the elbows spreading apart. We'll come back now to the pelvic tilt once again. So you ground the base of the spine, scoop the lower abdomen in, so that stays in that position, it doesn't switch. And we create the movement further up. So you're going to inhale here as you are lying down, elbows spreading apart, and exhale, lift your head and shoulders, keep flattening there at the Uddiyana, scooping it in, and you inhale, bringing your head back down. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders, inhale back, exhale, rise, inhale back, keep the base of the spine grounded, exhale, rise, create the lift through the heart area, and inhale back. And one more, exhale, rise, drive it down below the navel, so your abs aren't popping out. And you inhale, draw back, and release. Okay? Good. Variation, legs come up. Now this is more of a dead bug, you can see this. You've got the knees above the hips and the heels in front of the knees. You may maintain a little bit of space between the thighs, the arms up. Now if this is too much for your neck, you continue holding your head. That's fine too. Once again, fix the sacrum down, base of the spine. You start with an inhale, and we're going straight up. Exhale to the ceiling, reaching to the ceiling, and you inhale, take your head down, but keep your legs steady. Exhale, lift, and inhale back. Exhale, reach towards the ceiling, and inhale back. Exhale, reaching up, lifting through the heart. Inhale back. Exhale up, continue to scoop through the navel region. Inhale back. Again, exhale, lift. Inhale back, and we'll add one more. Exhale, rise to the ceiling, and inhale down and release. Good, now just take your knees left to right a few times. Release there in the abdomen. Okay, we'll do one. So this is all sort of pre-dish preparation. We'll take the legs up. Now can you bring your knees together this time? Put your hands over your knees and lift your head. So it's like an open ball shape. Draw the thighs away from the chest so that as your knees pull forwards, it roots the base of the spine down. Then you let go to point forwards. Once again, you might prefer holding your head. Okay, that's fine. Extend your legs, reaching out through the balls of the toes and turning the thighs in. And you exhale, take the feet lower. And it depends on you how low they go. So you might be able to get just a few centimeters if you can maintain it. Reach out the balls of the toes, hug in. 3, 2, 1, and release down. Bend the knees, feet flat. Constructive rest. Okay, so we're going to try a variation of that again. Knees together, hands over knees. Lift your head. Draw the thighs away from the chest. Point forwards. Now extend your legs. Go as low as you're comfortable. Exhale. Keep the posterior tilt. 3. Now the fun bit is lifting up. 2, 1. Lift. And push your palms forwards. Draw your knees to the armpits. Lift the heart. Breathe. And with an inhale, we're going to go back to dish. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, lift up. So you're squeezing in. Inhale back. Exhale, lift, knees to armpits, palms press out. Inhale, extend. And the last one, exhale, hug in. Cross the shins. And we'll just hop forwards to the hands and knees. Tabletop. Good. Shake the wrists. A little bit more there. And you might need a bit more preparation. We're doing some more work on the hands. Squeeze and wrists. Squeeze the knuckles, roll the wrists. Okay. Turn your fingertips to point to your knees. and add a little bit of rocking if that still feels okay. Alternatively, point sideways so you have a side-to-side movement on the wrists. Okay, either way, it's a nice way to lengthen the forearms, prepare the wrists. Okay, give them a shake, set your hands down, use your knuckle pads and fingertips a little more actively. Elbows springy, protract the shoulder blades. That means you push and hold so your chest doesn't collapse. And we'll go to cat-cow. So inhale, cow, arch your spine towards the mat. Exhale, cat, rounding, get a bit more firmness through the hands. And inhale, back into cow, collarbones wide. Exhale, lift and round your back for cat. And inhale, arching down. Exhale, lift. And inhale, down again. And back to neutral. So we'll do a sideways version, lateral. You roll out to the side and up. Rolling left, up, and to the right. So there's a bit more freedom in this one. You may explore it and move more in the knees and wrists. Then you change direction. Okay, center. Now we'll just sit back into a child's pose for a moment. Put your hands in a spider-like tented position. So the wrist is lifting, but the armpits lift too. And your head can move through the middle between the arms. Walk the fingers forwards, drawing the hips back. Find an even length through the spine so you're not collapsing the spine too low. Okay, then we'll come back up. We'll do one more thing here. So it's going to test your strength and stability. Root your hands, wrists under shoulders, knuckles in place, bounce the elbows, posterior tilt, tuck your toes under, and hold your head steady so it doesn't hang, nor is it too high up. So you look to the edge of the mat. Tuck the toes and lift your knees just a tiny bit. So it's just a few centimeters. Make sure you continue to push, protract from the shoulders, and the tilt of the pelvis is back with the navel scooped in. Otherwise you'll lose this. And the back of the body needs to lift upwards because that's where it collapses, especially between the shoulder blades. Good. 5, and breathe. 4, I get to watch this one. 3, Emilia's got it. 2, and 1, and down. Tuck your toes this time. Sit towards the heels. Walk the fingers forwards. Create the length. Lift under the armpits. Release the head between the arms. Then set your palms down. Lift your knees into our happy dog. So a happy dog. We've got the heels up and the knees bent, and you have a little move around in it, drawing the hips back. You have a nice deep scoop in the lower abdomen. So the pubis back, navel in, hip creases deep. And with an exhale, power the thighs back. And we don't want to overstretch the hamstrings, but can you bend, inhale, and exhale, start to draw back, just to feel the active lengthening. Inhale, bend the knees, and exhale, draw back there gradually. Now inhale, lift the heels higher, and exhale, open your knees for frog. Look towards the front, so there's a bounciness in your knees. We step or jump forwards to the front of the mat. Inhale up to your fingertips or a little higher on your shins. Soften the knees. Exhale, fold down. Release the neck. Now lead through the heart. Inhale, start to lift the heart. Then the arms. Ground to your feet. Arms lift. And you exhale, arms down. Okay, so that's our prep. We get into the sun salutations. We'll do sun salutation A first. Step forwards. Now, you might prefer feet open or feet together. It's up to you. Feet open gives you a bit more space to move at the hips, okay? Scoop the lower abdomen in. So all that work we did with the core is maintained. Upper abdomen free, so we don't lose the breath, nor do we restrict it. And there's a breadth across the collarbones and shoulder blades, okay? So then the shoulder blades can glide. And you inhale, arms lift. You're turning the thumbs back, wrapping your shoulder blades. Gaze up or forwards. And you exhale, soften the knees, fold down, touch the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. So you're up on your fingers or shins, a little higher, lengthening the lower back. Exhale, hands to mat. We just step back to frog. So frog is a sort of transition point. Bend and inhale to plank pose. Hold a moment, heels back, thighs lift. Protract the shoulder blades, hold your head steady. 3, 2, 1, knees down. Baby chaturanga. Okay, posterior tilt. Inhale. Exhale, bend the arms, push back up. Roll down towards your belly. Draw back through the shoulders with a sort of rolling action. So they don't just pull back, you roll them back. Place the hands and then inhale, lift the heart. For a cobra with bent arms. Exhale, downward dog. Start with bent knees. Draw back through the pubic bone, navel, hip crease, so you have a deep Uddiyana scooped in. That helps lengthen the spine. Relax the neck. And with an exhale, draw back through the thighs, the power legs. It's not your maximum power, but you're creating tone. Draw back, especially the inner thigh. Breathe well through the nose. That's it, knuckles grounded. Lengthen right back up to the sacrum. Now inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Step or jump to the front. Come up to the fingertips to lift the heart. So that will lengthen your lower back. Slightly softer knees and fold down, exhale. Good, connect to the feet. Lift the heart. Inhale, arms lift. Rise up, draw the tailbone down. Gaze to the thumbs and exhale, release the arms down. Good, let's try again. Lower abdomen scooped in. Heart open. Inhale, arms lift, turn, shoulder blades wrap. Exhale, soften the knees, fold down, bending at your hips. Inhale, lift the heart. Hands to mat, step or you jump to frog, soft landing. Inhale, plank. Option 1 is kneeling, we've done that. Option 2 is to hold straight for chaturanga, okay? But we're going to push back up again. Thighs lift, hold your head, inhale. Exhale, bend the arms, push back up. Now, Emilia's going to do option 1, kneeling. And I'll show you the other version to upward dog. Get some momentum, we'll keep the arms straight, roll over the toes, and inhale to upward dog, so the heart lifts. See the feet are grounded, thighs lift, bounce the elbows, and with the next exhale, glide back over your toes into downward dog. Soften the knees first, draw the hips back, keep a little bit of space under the heel, and the knees softer. So we're not maxing out straight away. You still have some space in your joints. Breathe well through the nose and out through the nose. Good. Lift the heels, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale. Look forward, step or jump. Lift the heart, inhale, make space underneath. Now scoop the Uddiyana, fold forwards, hands to the mat. Inhale, ground, lift the heart, reach up. And exhale, arms to the sides. Great. Salutation B. Go straight in from here. Now, I'm doing this with the feet open. Let's see how it feels for you. Start from the crease of the hip. Exhale, bend here. Sacrum grounding. Arms are free, shoulder blades free. Inhale, sweep them up, thumbs back. So either gaze forwards or look to the thumbs. Exhale, will fold down to the front. Inhale, lift the heart. The knees are still soft, springy, active. Hands down, step or jump, frog. Inhale, plank. Kneeling or straight. Bend, push. Upward dog or cobra. So cobra, if you set up again further down, or lift fully to upward dog, thighs lift. Roll back, exhale to downward dog. Okay, so for warrior one, turn the left heel in and down. Step the right foot. Place your feet well. So they're ready. We'll come up, inhale to straight legs. Arms lift. Make sure your chest faces forwards. And you exhale, bend the right knee. Either with more space for the arms, like I'm doing, or if you wrap a bit more from the shoulder blades through the arms, take the hands above the heart and gaze at the thumbs. Exhale to the hands. Step back to frog. Inhale, plank or kneeling. Exhale, bend, but push back up again. Now let's look at the upward dog again. See, Emilia's going to swing back, glide over the toes, roll through the spine, and open the heart. And exhale back to downward dog. Okay, so the other leg. First, turn the right heel down. Left foot steps forwards. Ground your feet. Inhale up to straight legs. Posterior tilt with Uddiyana scooped in. And exhale, bend the left knee. Good. You can gaze forwards or wrap your arms a little more with the thumbs there together, and you gaze up at that. Exhale, hands to mat. Step to frog. Inhale, plank or kneeling. Let's try kneeling this time again. Exhale, a mini push-up. So this is manageable for most people. Come back down and then roll for cobra with the armpits open. So you have a space here at the side ribs, and exhale into downward dog. Or you can take a child's pose. So remember, you might need to relax sometimes. Child's pose is perfectly fine to get back to the breath. Okay, take another 2 breaths. Now inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Look forward, step or jump. Inhale, lift the heart, soften the knees. Exhale, fold, release the neck. Bend the knees deeper, so you really feel the feet. Root the sacrum. Sweep the arms. Inhale, Utkatasana. And you exhale, come back there. Okay, one more. Exhale, scoop the lower abdomen, bend the knees. Utkatasana. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift the heart. Knees are springy. Hands to mat, step or jump. Frog. Inhale, plank. Choose one, kneeling or straight. Exhale, push chaturanga and back up. Cobra or upward dog. The focus, really the heart lifting there, the armpits open. Downward dog, exhale. Draw the hips back. Turn the left heel down. The right foot steps through to the front behind the hands. Inhale, straight legs. And just check the pelvic tilt. And exhale, bend your knee to warrior one. Gaze forwards or look up. Exhale, hands to mat, step back, frog. Inhale, plank. Push up. Chaturanga and lift. Cobra or upward dog, rolling over the toes. And downward dog, exhale. Turn the right heel down. Step the left foot through. Inhale, rise up. Tilt. Lengthen. Up. And exhale. You bend the left knee. Getting into the hip there. The back leg needs to go the other way. Drawing the right thigh back. Exhale, hands to mat. Step to frog. Inhale, plank. The thighs lift. Let's try the full plank. Exhale, push up and get back up, even just a tiny little bit. Cobra or upward dog. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, draw the hips back. Downward dog. So in downward dog, or a child's pose, lengthening through the sides, lower abdomen scooped in. So get ready, inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Step or jump forwards. Lift the heart, inhale. Fold, exhale. Bend the knees, arms up. Utkatasana. And exhale, release. Alright, so we'll move on. Now adding in some extra postures. So we'll start with Utkatasana but twisting. So try this, exhale, bend into the hips. Inhale, reach up. So we twist to the right side. Just make sure your hips are stable. So keep the hips back on both sides. Option 1 is just to put your left hand over your right knee. Or your elbow, if that works for you. But lifting the heart and then turning from the waist. Keep the left hip back and extend out the crown of your head with the rib cage lifting and turning. Inhale, center. Option 1, right hand over left knee, especially if your lower back is really stuck. Or come down to the elbow. Encourage right hip back and extend out the crown of the head. And twist. And we inhale up, arms up, Utkatasana. Exhale forwards. Inhale, lift the chest. Step or jump the feet, frog. Plank, inhale, kneeling or straight, choose one. Push up. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. So what we have here is warrior 1, 2, and 3. So let's go. Left heel turns in. Right foot steps forwards. Inhale, reach up. So that's your straight warrior. Exhale, bend the right leg. Keep drawing the left thigh back. Then we switch. Inhale, straight leg. Turn out to the left. You might need to take your left heel wider. And exhale, warrior 2. Bend the right knee. Now just check the side-to-side balance. Reach a little more through the left arm. Come down into the right hip. And gaze across the right hand. Keep scooping the lower abdomen with a posterior tilt. Take a couple more breaths. Now, the transition to warrior 3, lift the left heel and pivot, turn forwards. So your hips will turn square. Your left thigh will turn inwards. Then you lean forwards, exhale to this point. There's a springiness from your left foot. You can try this option, pushing your thigh to help lift the chest, and we'll spring up. Otherwise, you just power up there. You inhale to extend. Pull your left leg back. Keep turning inwards on the left thigh. Pull back through the left leg, and then lengthen out the crown of your head, evening out the back of the body. posterior tilt. 3. Keep pulling back through the other leg as a counterbalance. 2, 1, step back, frog. Inhale, plank. Kneeling or straight. Exhale, the chaturanga, push back up. Cobra or upward dog. Inhale, lift the heart. And downward dog, draw back. Exhale. Great, turn the right heel down. Step the left foot forwards. Place the feet well. Inhale up straight. Exhale, bend your left knee. Warrior 1. Inhale straight, turn to the right. Adjust slightly on the feet if necessary. Bend your left leg, warrior 2. Find the sort of balance, reach a little more through the right arm, and then you draw in lower abdomen as you sit through the hips. Just check the left thigh is not dropping in. So lift through the inner thigh. Gaze to the left hand. Face relaxed, breath steady. And the transition. Lift the right heel and turn. Turn your hips. Use the back foot to give you some momentum. Lean forwards. You may hold your thigh to lift your chest and balance. Otherwise, spring up, pull the right leg back. Try pulling back through your heel first, and then turn your thigh inwards, then point the balls of the toes back. Adjust the left knee slightly, so just be careful not to lock the knee. Lengthen the back of the body. 3, turn the right hip. 2, 1, step back, exhale, frog. Inhale, plank, kneeling or straight. You might be tired, you can kneel down. Push up. Cobra or upward dog, inhale. And downward dog, exhale. Good, let's have a child's pose. So everybody kneel down. Steady the breath. And it's good these moments to check if you're not breathing too fast. If your heart is beating quickly, just slow down again. Let that soften. Okay, now just sit up a moment. We'll take our block. So if you have your block, put the block in the corner to the right side. Okay, so we'll be using that for half moon pose. We'll come back a little bit. Arms forwards. Tuck the toes. Downward dog. Step the right leg forwards and you come up to high lunge. So this is a more dynamic entry. So you like the warrior 3. High lunge, use the back leg to add the bounciness to it. Root the ball of the big toe. That's going to help a lot now. Spring up and balance. So you can start like this, a little higher. Begin to turn to the left. Now bend the right knee and extend it again. So you should be able to control the right leg. Now bend the right knee, touch your block. Then reach out through all of your limbs for half moon pose. You could look downwards or upwards, depending on your balance. Now take a few more breaths, have a quick look. Ball of the big toe grounded. Lengthen from the hip to the armpit. This is along the waist. Reach out through your legs on both sides. 3. There's an option 2 here. Hold the foot. Top of the foot. Ooh, sorry, other way, other way. And that then lengthens again, the top side, hip to armpit, so you don't scrunch it up. 2, 1, hands to the mat. Move the block and just put your palms down and lift your head. Now, if the palms don't go flat, You need to just sort of stay where you are. If you can flatten the palms down, we'll do this slowly. Take the head forwards, just in front of the fingertips. You can look maybe between the top of the fingertips. Now what Emilia's going to do is to keep the left leg straight. Lift the left leg up, just lift it a little bit. Now use the right leg to bounce and then swing the left leg up into the air. And you just have this little bouncy handstand. It doesn't have to be too much. Push through both arms. Hold the head steady. See if you can keep the head forwards. Keep pushing through both arms and you kick up there. One more time. Head forwards and then bounce up. And that's it. We'll go back to frog. Frog, plank, kneeling or straight push up. Cobra or upward dog. Inhale and exhale into downward dog. And we get to try that again. So put your block on the left side. Left leg forwards, high lunge. Inhale, bouncy. Exhale, lean. Inhale, spring. Start a bit higher. Keep the ball of the big toe grounded. Bend and extend the left leg so you have some stability there. And if you bend the left knee, find the block and then extend back up. Reach all of your limbs out. So you're going from the center and out. Lengthen hip to rib to armpit. Turn slightly up. So once you have the full balance, you may gaze up at the hand, but looking down is easier. Option 2, hold your foot and lengthen through the waist so it doesn't pinch up in there. That's a common problem. Hold steady. 3, 2, 1. Release. Take your hands down. Now, if the hands don't go flat, just stay on the fingertips, so don't do the handstand. If your hands are rooted well, keep your head forwards and your chin up. Use your right leg like a stick, and your left leg is bouncy, more like a spring. Try to keep your head forwards, and as you bounce, you push. Bounce and push through the arms. Just carefully, not too much, because we don't want you to fly over your head. One more time. Oh, that's nice. You got it. You might just pause without even realizing it. And then back to frog, plank, inhale, a mini push-up, cobra or upward dog, inhale, downward dog, exhale, and we're not going to hold it. So lift the heels, inhale, step or jump forwards, half lift, inhale, make space and length. Exhale, fold, scooping the lower abdomen. And inhale, we'll just come back up to stand all the way. And exhale, back into Samastitihi. There. All right, so hope you're still with us. And we'll keep this going. So we slow it down a little bit. Towels are great here. In the tropical heat, Samahita. So what we're getting ready for next is Padangusthasana. So you need to open your feet, hip space. Lift your toes and spread them out. Put your little toe down, and you're looking for that even placement of the feet on the mat. And take your hands to the sides of the pelvis. Press the fingertips into the lower abdomen, so you're scooping it back. Inhale, upper abdomen opens up. Exhale, soften the knees. Fold down. Grab your big toes. Inhale, lift the chest. So it's the half lift. Keep the grip on the toes. And now exhale, you fold forwards. You need to keep scooping the Uddiyana and just make sure your upper abdomen and the ribs don't get squeezed in. Then release the head. If your shoulders feel heavy, you need to draw the shoulder blades down the back slightly. And you may bend the knees a bit more, or you exhale to power back. So rooting through the feet, back through the inner thigh. Two more breaths. Now keep the grip on the toes. Inhale, lift the heart. Lengthen the lower back. Exhale, hands to hips. Put the fingertips right in the crease, lower abdomen. Inhale, rise up. Use the pelvic tilt. The posterior tilt brings you up, 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 and exhale. Open the feet slightly and turn the toes out just a little bit there. So what we get ready for is Malasana. Now Malasana, you're bending here in the hip and in the knee, and you come down to squat. This doesn't always work for every student, so you need to sit on a block with your feet forwards. That might work, okay? So see what you need there. Even if you put 2 blocks together. Lift the heart, open the knees, extending the lower back up along the upper back. So here you're opening the hips on one level, but you're also activating the spinal muscles to create extension. Okay, arms forwards. Now root the feet, exhale. Okay. Next up, and this is the difficult part, okay? For some, let's see, you squat down halfway, use your elbows. Now what we're working on is the balance, much more tricky bound balance, bird of paradise. There is an alternative, which is just to hold your knee in balance. But have a look at this. Let's see where we are. Take the right arm forwards. Turn the thumb down, so it's inward rotation. Bend the elbow and aim the back of your hand to the side of the hip. Now lift the left arm, turn inwards, and then guide that around to the other hand to grip. Shuffle your feet a bit closer. Now you take all your weight to the left foot, lift the right heel, and you come up slowly, slowly. Focus on the left leg first. So first thing is to straighten the left leg to stabilize. So you're balanced well, ground the ball of the big toe, left leg straightens, heart lifts. Now the last bit is the right leg. It might not go very far, and it really just depends on flexibility. You can, of course, just hold your knee and balance. This is perfectly fine. 3, 2, 1. You bend, come down, release the grip, come back to your elbows. Try the other leg. So now left arm forwards, turn the thumb down, bend the elbow. The back of your hand goes to the side of the hip. Lift slightly to the right, turning. Right arm turns inwards, then you grip. Shift your weight to the right leg. Lift the left heel. So first thing is right leg. Stabilize through the right leg. Lift the chest, come up slowly. Left foot comes up. Straighten the right leg first. Then lift the heart. Now this might be enough. Remember, you can hold your knee with your hand instead. Keep that strength through the grounded leg. Left leg comes up. Hold. Heart lifts. Power the standing leg. 3, 2, 1. Bend the left leg. Come down. Release to the elbows. And just ground through the feet to come up. Exhale. Okay, got it. So well done. That's quite challenging. We'll come back, and we're switching to balance on the hands. All right? So what we do is back to our squat. So it's a halfway squat on the elbows. Now what makes a big difference for Bakasana is to put ribs on thighs. So take the crease deep, ribs to thighs, arms forwards. Once you have that connection, your body will be more compacted and easier to balance. Slide the hands back. Turn the fingers just a little out, just a tiny bit, and grip your fingertips. So there's a turning of the upper arm. Lift your heels and bring your knees to the back of your triceps or armpits. If possible, you keep the connection. Now, it's not always that easy to keep the ribs on the thighs, but we'll do our best. Lift the chin, lift the hips, lean forwards. Now, before your feet come up, round your back slightly And then take 1 foot up at a time. Slippy. 1 foot up at a time. Keep grounding through the arms. It's sweaty here. That's it. Chin up. 3, 2, 1, and back to Malasana. So you can try that as many times as you need, because it does take a bit of practice. And if you're sweaty, you're going to slip on the back of your arm. I'll give it one more go. So you're welcome to try with me. Ribs to thighs, arms forwards, turn the fingers out slightly. Lift the heels, place the knees. Lift the chin, the chest. Round the upper back slightly. Rock slightly forwards. 1 foot, then the other. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Keep the chin up. 3, 2, 1, and back to Malasana. Good. Hands down, spring to frog. Inhale, plank. Kneeling or straight push-up. Cobra or upward dog. And we'll all have a child's pose. Exhale. So that's it for standing postures. Take a few breaths here. Slowing down your breath. Then sit up, cross your shins, and just roll back to sit. Okay, so how are we doing? We're here to seated now. So from seated position, we'll do more on the hips. We've started some of the hip opening already. Let's see how you do for Ardha, Padma, Paschimottanasana. There are some options here. So let's start with the rock the baby. Just to point out here, your lower back might be collapsing. So you need to sit on a cushion or perhaps your block to help stabilize that, all right? So that will be helpful. First, you rock the baby. So the hip is loose. We'll draw the thigh back. So you take the right thigh back like this. Keep the left leg steady there. And option 1 really is just to go to the Janu Shashasana leg. This is fine for most people, and we can walk down this way. If you're comfortable in your knee, you'll draw back, bend at the knee. The foot starts to move towards the pubic bone, the lower abdomen, and then you step your right hip. So as you step your right hip forwards, your foot goes to the opposite side, to the hip crease of the left leg. Okay? If your knee's quite high, you can support it to take some of the weight off, like that. Reach the ball of the big toe on the left leg. So you might have the Janu Shashasana leg or this half lotus. Now, option 1 is just to come up, inhale, and exhale, walk your hands along. So the inhale creates the length, and the exhale, we walk forwards. Or if you turn to the right, to glide your right arm round the back to the big toe. And that way you hold both feet. You inhale, and then the rotation comes in. Exhale to the left leg. So the bound option might work for some of you. Otherwise, keep your arms forwards. So let's take a few breaths. Inhale, get a bit of length. Exhale, fold. Watch the upper abdomen is still open and it is not crushed. You need to breathe well here. The left leg, you get the grounding through the inner thigh. So you're grounding there. Now we'll inhale, come up, and exhale, release. Take the right leg out and forwards. Just try that again on the other side. So the left leg, start with rock the baby. Hip is loose. Take the left leg back. So your opening the hip there and lifting the heart. So you might need a little bit more of this. Then option 1 is to the inside, left foot to the inner thigh for Janushirshasana, and we'll move this way down. Otherwise, guide the left knee back, bend the left knee so you close the gap, draw the heel, left heel towards the pubic bone just above, step the left hip and your foot reaches the crease, and just make sure your right leg doesn't collapse there, grounding through the inner leg. Come forwards with 2 hands, or left arm binds around the back to the left foot. Inhale. Exhale, turn slightly to the right. Inhale again to get some space. Now check your upper abdomen is free. And you exhale to fold down. And keep the Uddiyana drawn back. You might have your foot in there, that really helps, just scooping it in. Release the jaw, the mouth, the eyes, steady the breath. Now you inhale up and release. Okay, take your left leg out. Forwards. Good. Have a little shake. And we'll switch now to Tiriang Mukhaekapada P. This is going the other way. The right foot goes to the outer hip. You'll find it's difficult to bend the leg like that. So try a block or cushion to sit on, keeping the block or cushion slightly to the left. And this way, put your thumb in your calf, bend over that, and guide your right foot to the outside of the hip. Okay? So you have a little gap there. Now, the buttocks get in the way, so you adjust those. We'll lead with the right arm this time. So you come up. There's more rotation left, so you turn left, scoop the navel, fold down, hold your foot or shin. The left hand will give you balance on the left. Inhale, extend. Continuing to turn forwards and along, exhale there. So you hold here. Left hand can stay there for balance because you might find you're falling on the left, or you take 2 hands forwards. As always, the left leg now, in this type of posture, is to ground the inner thigh, otherwise it collapses out. Inhale, lift the heart, upper abdomen free. Exhale, Uddiyana drawn, fold forwards. Take a few breaths. So in these postures we slow down. It's much more inner focus. And we'll inhale up and exhale, release. Hold your right ankle. There's one more here, Parighasana, the gate pose. Keep your heel up touching your hip and open your knee to the side. If you're on a block or cushion, you need to turn that slightly to get the balance. So now it's lateral. We'll do our best to ground the right hip to the inside of the heel. Left leg stays steady there. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, reach to the inside, maintaining some rotation to the right, otherwise we'll collapse back. And you twist to the right like this. So that might be enough. Holding the hip is fine. Or you glide your right arm across the head, so it's a side angle variation across the side of your ear. Or perhaps you put your left elbow down on the inside to edge a bit lower, but we're still grounding the right hip. So there's a balance of actions here. Ground the right hip, lift the heart, and rotate. Now just breathe with it. It's more open, this pose. You can feel that in the heart. And then we'll inhale up, hold the right ankle, take the foot forwards. And then release. Got it? Change leg. Left leg to the outside. Heel to the outside of the hip. Adjust the flesh on the buttocks. Balance there in the hips. Inhale, lead through the left arm. Turn slightly right. Reach to wherever you get the hand. Balance with the right hand. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forwards. Now stay with that balance or put two hands forwards. Lift the heart, inhale. Scoop the Uddiyana, lower abdomen, as you fold down. Once again, make sure you're not crushing forwards too much. There should be space in the upper abdomen there to breathe well. Now take a few breaths. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Good. Hold your left ankle. Keep the heel on the hip and move it out to the side. If you're on a prop, you need to turn it slightly. So you're grounding the left hip down to the inside of the left foot. Turn slightly left first. Lift the right arm, inhale. And reach to the right, exhale, to the inside. Turning to the left. Hold your hip or reach across your head. You might even edge down lower, but consider the left hip there is still grounding. Heart open, turn, breathe, enjoy. And you come up, inhale. Hold your left ankle and take your left leg forwards. Good, and release. We'll give that another shake. Shake it out the legs. Then we bring the feet together for Baddha Konasana. You may need more space initially, but if you're comfortable, move your pelvis up and forwards to the heels. For some of you, you may just need the hands back. It's fine to sit on your cushion as well. And get the space there in the heart. When you're more comfortable, you'll start to move forwards and just rock slightly. Once again, the flesh gets stuck, so move the buttocks back. Yeah, then we find the center and sit up tall. Once the thighs are lower, the feet start to open out like a book. But that sort of happens naturally, and we can work with it as we move in from there. So we inhale up, extend the spine. Exhale, scoop the navel and start to fold forwards. Now let's just rock a little bit first. So find your way into the hips. This takes time, it's really quite deep. And we have to encourage this opening in the hip. A bit of rolling is nice too. You loop in a circle. Going both ways. And then we'll come up again, inhale. So get the full length of the spine, activate, draw the feet and pelvis together, roll the shoulders, and exhale, fold, let the buttocks go back. And now you're looking for that deeper point. Make sure you're not pulling in, because it's not helpful. You're lengthening through the heart and then releasing down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold again. Maybe your head goes down, but maybe not. So it's fine either way. Breathe into it. And if you press the heels together, you get more grounded, active in the hips. Uddiyana is drawn. It's not like we just flop and let everything go to sleep. Connect. And then you inhale back up. Exhale. Draw the knees back up. Open the feet. put your hands on the outside. Your hands push inwards, but your knees push outwards, so there's an activation. You'll feel the outer hip there activate, engage. Because we've gone deep in that asana. Baddha Konasana is deep, so now activate the hip muscles. And likewise, from the inside, pull out with the hands, push in with the knees. Lift the heart, press in. Activate the inner thigh. And release. Good. Boat pose. Now come forward slightly. We will drift back to dish pose. So if you hold like this, Navasana, rock back. Option 1. 2, extend the arms. And 3, extend out through the balls of the toes. Turn the thighs in and hug close. 5, 4, 3, 2, then 1, dish. You melt down to the lower back, to the tip of your shoulder blades. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chop your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release down. Take a moment to relax. So that finishes our seated section. And what we move on to next are the back bends. Now, are you ready, Emilia? You need to take more time there. It's actually quite tiring, all of this. We'll do a simple bridge. Turn the palms flat. Draw the heels towards the buttocks. Maybe just touch the heels. That's the sort of distance we look for. Spread the toes. Root the balls of the toes. Let's lift the toes again and see how that feels to ground the ridge here. Palms down, shoulder blades down, and throat open. Scoop the lower abdomen, and you inhale up to the simple bridge. So it's the half bow or half upward bow, right? That's it. So it's not your maximum. It's a little bit less. Now drag the heels apart so they just sort of stick and drag, and it will take the inner thighs down a little bit to stabilize the thighs. Throat open, side ribs open. Yeah, that's lovely. So you see Emilia's grounding the arms and then making some space in the ribs at the side. Okay, roll down from the upper back. And we'll take a look at the upward bow, the full pose. So we can both do this, and you'll see from both sides. So start with the bridge, place the feet, heels apart so they don't slip together. Lift the toes so you get a grounding of the ridge. Now set the palms down and your shoulder blades. Exhale, sacrum down, navel down, scoop. Inhale, lift the hips. Connect through the arms. So the hips are up, but they're not maximum. So you have a little bit of release in the glutes. Then this is enough, you stay there, that's fine. If your hands can come back, open the fingers, and point under the shoulders, turning slightly out. Now the hips are mobile and the feet are solid on the mat. So the mobility in the hips is going to help us glide. So you get this wave-like action. Drop the hips, exhale, scoop the tailbone, inhale, lift through your hips, and activate through the arms at the end. Maybe you lift your heels to get space in the lower back, that's fine. So I'm going to release the pelvis a little bit, bend the elbows, sweep the elbows out, in, and then extend again. So there's movement in the upper arm and space for the neck. Take another breath. And then release down to the back of your neck, back of your head, then your shoulders. Take a breath there. Then shake your legs loose. First we release the psoas, thighs, abdomen. We come back to the cactus twist, SI joint stabilizer. So you have the elbows to the sides, knee to knee, heel to heel. sacrum grounded. Rock side to side. First you start a light twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, right side. Ground it through the shoulder blades to the elbows. Knee to knee, heel to heel. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Connect down through the arms. 3, 2, 1. Center. And release the feet down. Take another breath. Roll to the side, push back up, face this way. Okay. Now, you may sit on your cushion for the next two postures. Start with Bakasana. Put the right foot on the inside near the knee. So it's a twist, but not so deep. You hug with the left arm. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, turn to the right. Keep the right hip grounded, and we work the length. Inhale, turn, exhale. So it's more to get traction through the spine after our back bend. Okay, turn forwards and release. Bend the left leg. Left foot to the inner knee. Hug with the right. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, turn to the left. Lengthening, inhale, turn, exhale. Okay, turn forwards. Now for the forward bend. So variation on Paschimottanasana. We'll start, you may open the thighs, it's less intense. We'll see how that goes. And bending the knees, less intense. All right, especially after back bends. Ground the hip crease, thigh bone. Inhale, lift. Exhale, ribs to thighs. Inhale again, lengthen. So I've got hold of the feet. And you exhale forwards again. And take a few long breaths, or you might be able to edge your way down a bit more, sort of walking the sit bones back. Lift the heart, inhale. Exhale, release forwards. And inhale, come back up and release. Okay, so good that you're still with us. We have a few more things to do. For the inversion today, we'll look at the headstand. If you don't normally practice headstand, if you have not got the stability yet, now is probably not the best time to suddenly do it. So I will go through some important points. We do have other videos on headstand that you can look at more carefully. And of course, having a teacher is the best way to do this. But for those of you who are already doing this, let's come down. Emilia will show you. What we'll work with is the fingers interlaced, the thumbs up, and a space in the palm, like a ball-sized shape. And what we're looking at there is not to collapse the wrists too wide, so they're a bit closer. And this will keep stability in the wrist so it doesn't flop as you try to come up to your headstand. So Emilia's got this. Now the thumbs up, what we do is put the head in between the wrists. So the head will touch the wrist and the back of the thumb. So head comes down. Lift the knees. Okay, so that we'll put the head, well here's a dolphin. So Emilia's grounding the forearms and drawing the hips back. Then we'll place the head back here between the wrists at the back of the thumb. Now you see the grounding of the arms will create energy up to the hips. That lengthens the spine. you tiptoe forwards. There's going to be some restriction in terms of flexibility. Check the elbows are grounded and they're not lifting up as you come in. One knee to the chest, then the other knee to the chest, feet together, and balance there first. The feet will move over the hips. Now, this is it, stay there. This might already be enough, and even before this point, you might find you're too wobbly. If you have this solid, continue the feet up towards the ceiling. Grounding the arms, reaching through the legs. Maintaining a wrapping of the shoulder blade, the same as what you would do in a sun salutation, with the arms up. So there's space in the back of the chest, and there's also a lift of the heart, so the rib cage feels big and solid with the arms grounded. Now, reach up through the balls of the toes with a slight turning in of the thighs. So this brings it all together. The Uddiyana region is scooped back. That makes a huge difference. So that we'll draw the psoas muscle back towards the spine. Now, let's hold a little bit if you can. You may have already come down to child's pose, is fine. Remember, don't rush this, don't force it. Emilia came back down with one leg. Another way to bring yourself down is to come down the way you come up. So if you come up with 2 knees to the chest, you then come down with 2 knees to the chest and sit back. Okay, so child's pose, stay here for a few more breaths. Release the neck and shoulders. Then come up to the hands and knees, cross the shins and sit back. Okay, and we'll look at Yoga Mudra. So Yoga Mudra, there is a basic option, shin over shin. And you can ease your way down like this. So you inhale, exhale, maybe have the block for your head. Now, as we've been working with the hips today, we've already practiced the half-bound lotus. If you had done that earlier comfortably, you might be ready to try this. But once again, this is another posture that can cause injury. So you have to take it slowly and be ready for this. So what I will do, take the right knee back, the heel just above the pubic bone, and step the right hip. It needs to nestle in closely, otherwise this isn't going to work. If that's already too much, then don't do a lotus pose. So then the left leg will lift. And once again, you're checking now the sensations and think, is this really time to do it? If you're still comfortable, you take the left knee back. So there needs to be some mobility there. Left knee goes back and then across. So it should slide in neatly to the other hip crease, the heels in your lower abdomen. Inhale, exhale, walk forwards. And perhaps some of you, and this really depends on the person, bind the top foot first, then the other one. Inhale, you've got a grip, and we get to Yoga Mudra there. Exhale. Now slow down the breath. Yoga Mudra is really the surrender. Now we'll come up, inhale. If you're in a lotus, take that out carefully, the same way it came in. And we'll do the other leg. So now I'm taking the left leg. Take the left leg back. Bend the left knee, then place the foot. And just check the other side. It might not be the same on both sides, so you have to be careful with that. This will go back and then glide in, so we don't pull it hard. You see, the knee goes higher than the foot and then in. Otherwise, just cross your legs the other way. Simple Sukhasana legs is fine once again. So you inhale, exhale, walk forwards. If you do have the lotus legs, then you might be ready to bind it. Once the feet are tidy, close to the lower abdomen, you come forwards there. And you feel how this cultivates the inner focus, removes distractions. So then we'll come back up and just sit for a moment. Jaw released, upper abdomen free. Smooth breath through the nose. So we're going to finish up there. Release your legs and just lie back. Okay, so for Shavasana, you might like a cushion for your head or a cushion behind the knees. Settle down to the back of the body, so move the flesh out from the sacrum and the shoulder blades apart. And let the hands drop, palms face up, feet turn out. Releasing the face, jaw, tongue. Slowing down the breath. And you start to relax through the chest, and heavy shoulders. Your abdomen is soft. And you focus on the inner body with your inner organs relaxing too. And there's a feeling of them dropping down to the back of the body. And they stay there still, quiet. And releasing into the pelvis. So the bony pelvis drawn to the mat. And the organs of the pelvis and the pelvic floor. Relax, release. And letting go down through the thighs, into the feet. Internally we feel empty, clear, spacious. Now you may need to stay here longer, so just finish off there, turn off the video, and stay in Shavasana. Or if you're ready to come out, bend your knees, roll to the side, head heavy. And take your hand there and push yourself up slowly. So there we'll finish and conclude today's practice. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Emilia. That was great. And watch again, practice. Of course, come back here. You know, this is what we do at Samahita. You can feel it and hear it in the video, and it's even better when you're here. So come and join us. Check out the teacher training. We teach this sequence as well. This is one of the 3 dynamic postures, asana practices we do. So have a look at that as well. Thank you, and I hope to see you here soon.